What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here, back with another action figure review. And as you guys can see, today we're going to be taking a look at the Mafex or Medicom Toys Batman Hush Catwoman. Now, this is one that's been pushed back quite a few times. I know everyone jumped on the pre-order recently because I actually wanted to pick up a second one, but it was sold out everywhere. So I'm hoping everyone was able to get their hands on this because it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice piece. But that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at that sexy packaging so we can dive right into the figure itself. Now, for the sexy packaging, you do get the same thing that you got with the first release Batman Hush. You got the window packaging where you can see the figure. It says Batman Hush right there, an image of Catwoman on the side. Catwoman, Batman Hush version, action figure, Mafex DC Medicom toy. At the top, we've got her in an attack pose right here. It says Batman Hush, of course. All the legal stuff at the bottom, no one really cares about. Same thing over here on the side. It says Batman Hush, her getting ready to attack. You can tell she looks angry right there. On this side, we have a full body image of the figure. Says Batman Hush DC at the top, Catwoman, Mafex, Medicom toys. On the back, you got some poses you can get the figure into, and this looks very, very stellar. I'm pretty stoked for this. But yeah, you got some more legal stuff at the bottom no one cares about, so let's go ahead and bust this open because I'm ready. Now, as far as I know, everyone and their grandma had opinions on Batman Hush. Some people loved it, some people hated it, some people were indifferent. I enjoyed it for what it was, but the main thing that I loved was the artwork. Jim Lee really made these characters look phenomenal, and I love the way that they looked in the movie as well. Comics and movie, I've read and watched both, so I just love it. And I love the fact that this is a very good looking Catwoman. Even if you aren't a fan of Jim Lee's artwork, you can still have this figure in your collection and it'll be a great Catwoman for your collection. Honestly, probably one of the best. I think one of the better we've gotten next to this one would probably be the DC Essentials, but it's 7-inch scale, not 6. And then of course we've got the Mezco, which the Mezco's not bad, but if you're someone who likes to pose Catwoman as I am, then that figure just wouldn't work for you. But I gotta say, there's not a lot going on here, but what is going on looks great. You've got her with the mask and the goggles, of course. She's got her little cat ears. She's got the smirk with the red lipstick. Most of the outfit is black. They've got one little line right here. I guess this means it's zip up. She's got a buckle right there. Not a whole lot going on at all. It's just mostly a black figure all the way from head to toe. Then, of course, you've got these boots. I love these boots, the buckle and everything on them. But yeah, she looks nice, honestly. She's very pleasing to look at, like aesthetically. I really am digging this. It's just not a whole lot to talk about. But what I do like, though, is this little piece right here on her neck. You can actually move. I guess that's her zipper. That's pretty sick. I didn't even notice that until now. That's interesting. Okay. And even behind the goggles, you can see her eyes. I'm not sure how well my light is hitting it. But yeah, as you guys can see, she does have green eyes behind the goggles. And the eyes look like they're painted on very, very nicely as well. So in terms of looks, I'm very pleased. Just not a whole lot to talk about, but I'm fine with that. Sometimes it's just about showing it off and taking a look at it to see if you enjoy the aesthetics. Now, for the height of Catwoman, as you guys can see to the top of her head, she's a little bit over 6 inches. So she's pretty tall. But that being said, Mafex figures usually are a taller 6-inch scale. So I don't feel like you're going to have to worry about posing her next to Batman or any of your other DC figures that are of that 6-inch scale. Moving right on to the articulation, she looks up about that much, which is actually really good because with the way her eyes are painted on, it really does look like she's looking up. So you can definitely get her into those crawling poses as long as the body allows her to do so. She looks down. Actually, since the head popped off, I want to show this. She's got that curved ball peg in the neck, which actually helps with the range. So it's what helps her to look up that much, which I love that they do that. I really wish other companies would incorporate that. But yeah, she looks down about that much. You could probably get more out of it if you actually wiggle that curve around and then you pop the head on. See, like now she can really, really look down. And with it turned that way, you can still get a lot of range out of the head as well. So she does get movement at the neck also. So a ton of movement at the head. Now, as far as the arms go, they go up and out Wow, not as much as I was expecting them to, actually. Hold on. I want to try something. Because I popped that out. Wow. I'm going to leave that on camera, though. I like to leave that on for you guys to see. If you move it around, her arms can go up a little bit more, and it doesn't look weird, but yeah, you're definitely going to have to move that ball peg around in the socket to get more range, like if you want to do uppercuts and things with her, or if you just want to pose her like with her arms out, I don't know, for whatever reason that way, you will have to move that around. She does get bicep swivel. She has double jointed elbows, but you can only get them in about that much, which is weird. It looks like they would come in just a little bit more. So if you want to pose her like laid back, relaxing, you're going to have to play with it a little bit more than I would imagine, but you can make it happen. Obviously, this is just a quick one for the video, but it can be done. As far as her hands, they're on the typical hinge, which feels a whole lot more sturdy. And as you guys can see, you can move that around however you want to. She does have, wow, that's amazing. Okay, at the diaphragm, she leans back about that much. Not sure if you guys can see it, but there's a major gap in there if you do that. So you don't want to lean her back too much without moving her at the waist as well. But she crunches forward that much. Of course, she gets all kinds of tilt. Wow, she's popping apart like crazy. Probably because I'm pulling too hard. It's just me touching the Catwoman. That's all it is. But yeah, as you guys can see, nah, she's popping apart a little easy. But yeah, she does get a whole lot of movement at the diaphragm. She does also get it at the waist, as you guys can see. So if you want to lean her forward even more, you can do that. If you want to lean her back, you can do that. But just make sure to watch that gap right there, because that is a major, major gap. Now, as far as her legs go, they're on the drop down method. She can give you a full kick to the face. That is not going to be a problem at all with Catwoman. And she can do a full split. This is what I wanted from every single Catwoman. And sorry about that interruption. I actually got a call from one of my figure buddies. He picked something up for me while I was in the middle of reviewing this. But anyway, back to this. She gets a full split. She can totally kick bad guys in the face. No problem. She does have a inner thigh swivel. No problem at all. She does have double jointed knees that work very, very well. So I love that also. She doesn't have a swivel right here at the boot, although it seems like she would. Her foot goes down about that much, up about that much. Actually, I'm gonna go down again to show that. So yeah, up and down. She does, of course, get ankle rocker. You're gonna kind of have to play with it just because of the way the design is, but it is there. And of course, she does have toe hinge. Not a whole lot, but then again, she's wearing heels, so I really don't think that you can do this in heels anyway. But yeah, as far as articulation, for the most part, it's the same thing that we always get with Mafex, and I love it because they are giving us posable DC figures, and I am enjoying every bit of it. Also, I got so caught up when I was talking about the articulation that I forgot to mention she has a very good butterfly joint as well. As you guys can see, you can bring the arms in pretty far. You can totally get her in a Wakanda Forever pose if you want to. This is not me trying, but it's just me letting you know that you can do it. When it comes to the accessories, you don't get a whole lot, but I do feel like you get a very necessary amount. So first off, she comes like this in the package. She has this default, almost smiling like head on with a pair of relaxed hands. She does come with a pair of open palm hands, and you can see it looks like they kind of sculpted claws on these, but not really. So like, I don't know. But either way, one thing I do love is the fact that they are now including this with their figures. I think they started doing this with Mira, but that way you don't have to worry about the hole in these shrinking, making it easier to put the hands on. So I love this. And also it makes it easier for me to review. Now, you do also get a pair of hands, and if you know, then you know. But actually they're pointing fingers. But I love this, the fact that they included these, so I'm happy about that. You get a pair of, these are like clawing hands, I guess. You could use them for that, or you can use them for just her being in another stylish pose. Whatever you want to do with them, they're still there. You get a pair of hands for holding on to her whip that she could totally hit me with. I'll show that off in just a sec. But yeah, you pretty much just slide it through the groove of the fingers, no problem. And then lastly, you get a pair of fist hands. I'm so glad that they included these. I feel like every action figure needs these. Now, in terms of heads, you do get two alternate heads. You get one where she's got her goggles lifted. It's kind of just like a neutral expression, and it looks really, really great. I love how you can see the hair coming down between the goggles and the paintwork for her makeup and everything, and even just her eyes looks really, really good. So they did a great job with these. And then you do get an angry Catwoman face, and this could be from when she's going up against Superman. I know her and Batman went up against Superman in the movie. I feel like she went up against someone else. I completely forgot. I haven't read that comic in a while. But yeah, I love this also. You do get a alternate lower torso piece, and it's just basically the same one with a different belt. And I think this is the one that you use like if she has her whip wrapped around her. I'm not entirely sure, but I made that guess because this is the whip, and this thing is interesting. It's not like anything major, but it's a very interesting look. As you guys can see, she holds it right here, but you can turn it right here. You can turn it right here. You can turn it right here. So it has three pieces of articulation as well. I really wish you would have came with one that's like wrapped up that you could have attached to her. But once again, like I said, maybe that's what the alternate piece is. So yeah, it would have been dope if we got a Selena Kyle head, just her without the mask. I don't know why I thought she came with one. I feel like I thought I saw it in the promo images, but I guess not. That being said, we probably will get it though, because everyone knows how Mafex loves to include accessories for certain characters with other releases. So let's cross our fingers on that one. Moving on to some size comparisons, here she is standing next to the Mafex rendition of Batman from Batman Hush. This is the very first release. I wanted to show the black one, but I don't know what the heck I did with that thing. I haven't seen it in weeks, but then again, I hadn't been looking for it. Also, here she is standing next to the Superman from Hush as well, which is probably the best 6-inch Superman ever. I really hope that they continue to make characters from Hush, and it seems like they're doing so. Also, here she is standing next to a custom Mezco old Batman that I kind of kit bashed and threw together. So, yeah. In case you were thinking about getting your mix-up on, here she is standing next to a DC Icons Nightwing, a Mattel Classic Robin, and the DC Icons Batgirl. Next up, here she is standing next to a DC Icons Harley Quinn, which I feel like these two scale very well together. The Mezco Two-Face, and if you've played the Arkham series, then you know that these two got into a little entanglement at the beginning of Arkham City. And then lastly, of course, we do have Deathstroke as well from Revoltech. Lastly, here she is standing next to a Jazzwares Fortnite Meowscles, and it's obvious why I had to get him in the size comparisons with her. In case you want to get your mix-up on with the Mortal Kombat vs. DC, here she is standing next to the Storm Collectibles SDCC 2020 exclusive Scorpion, and lastly, a Marvel Legends Yellow Jacket from the Ant-Man movie. And big shout out to my boy Garrett Salter on Instagram for sending this to me. I really appreciate it, bro. Now, as a whole, this is a release that I stand by completely whenever it comes to recommending it for pickup, simply because when are we going to get another Catwoman that can be considered, quote unquote, a comic book Catwoman that has very good articulation? It's something we might not get. Now, a lot of people, I'm sure, are thinking, well, DC Essentials is fine. I think DC Icons ended up making one. Maybe, I don't remember. But at the end of the day, let's be real. None of them are going to achieve this level of articulation. Granted, yes, this is a little bit pricey, but look at all the accessories you get with it, which is just another added bonus, because usually DC Icons might come, or DC Essentials as well, might come with one pair of interchangeable hands. Actually, I don't think DC Essentials comes with any ever. But, you're not going to get interchangeable head sculpts, waist plates, hands, a whole lot of them at that. And so this is one I just feel like if you've got Batman, especially if you got Batman and you got Superman and you ordered Hush, you might as well get Catwoman. Now, the reason I'm recommending this one so heavily is because just the other day, my cousin was looking for this one, and it had sold out everywhere. Like, people, I guess, had really jumped on this one. But luckily enough for him, it opened back up on AmiAmi, and he was able to get it. That's also where I got mine from. So if you're wondering, yes, I picked this one up at AmiAmi. You can do the same if you want to get it faster. But if you're not in a hurry for this figure, I'm sure you could probably find it on like Big Bad Toy Store or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But either way, definitely recommend this pickup. She's a pretty fun figure. I had fun taking shots of her. They may or may not be included in the video. I'm not entirely sure. Just depends on how much time I have left after I finish this. As you guys know, I do record all of my reviews before work now, so I'm usually in a bit of a rush when I am getting ready to upload them. But either way, recommend this figure. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe wherever you are. Bye.